Alright guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. Today, recording this video, man, I have been to two car meets, one show and one car meet, and it has been a lot of fun, folks. And this is my video that I didn't think I would bring to you so soon, but I'm bringing it to you now. 2,500 miles. I'm exactly at like 2,499 miles. So I'm about to hit 2,500 miles. And folks, I gotta tell you, I didn't expect to have so much fun. I just did not. I did not expect to have so much fun with this car, and I didn't think I would drive it this much either. So, and there's a lot more shows that I'm attending too, by the way. I've just been excited to be able to just get out and be around other car enthusiasts, not just Corvettes, but just, well, a lot of the shows I go to are Corvette only, but I've been going to more shows that are not just Corvette, and it has been an experience, man. I have been loving every minute of it, and I'm excited to be able to have a vehicle that is somewhat exclusive right now. I'm still in shock about that, but a lot of other people are more in shock than I am, and I think that's probably got to be that has to be one of the best things about owning this car, is how excited I am for it and how excited other people are for it. So it's just become this thing where I pull up and they ask immediately, oh my gosh, is that an ERay? And it just gets me pumped, man. I just get super excited about it. So I've had the top off for the last 24 hours. I just put it back on. It was 67 this morning when I left to go to the first meet. The meet that I did today. Last night I had the top off because there was a show at night. And I did get a little bit of footage from both shows. They're meets really. They're not shows, but they're yesterday was a Corvette meet, and today was just a regular cars and coffee. So I tried to film a little bit, but this car, people are excited about it, and then they get me excited about it, and then we just end up talking for an hour or two, man. Everybody just kind of crowds around, and I'm a car enthusiast, so I like other people's cars too, not just Corvettes, but that's the way it's been for me with ownership of this car. Again, rolling up on 2,500 miles and one more mile, and I was like, I'm going to pull over before I go to the house. I just went and filled it up. So I'm going to talk about some things in this video. I don't want to ooh and awe over the car, but I'm going to talk about gas mileage, because some people are asking me about fuel economy and things like that, and so I've been discussing that with people now. A lot of people have been asking me about the fuel economy on the car, and they can't believe my fuel economy. So I'll go ahead and start there. We'll get back around to other stuff on the car, but fuel economy. So I just left the gas station, and I filled up, and on this tank right here, I got 310 miles, I believe, on the fill up. So I'm getting in the 20s every time I drive this car. And I don't fill up every weekend. I fill up every other weekend because I don't drive it very far, and it gets good gas mileage. I don't do a lot of in-town driving, I'll say, when I am driving it. But it's a lot of highway miles to get to all the different shows and car meets. So with that, it's getting me at least 300. I think 295 was the lowest fill up that I've ever had since owning this car in the 4 months I've had it, I think it is. So today I just filled up, and I got 310 miles. The fill up I did before this one, it filled up to 358. And I was talking to another, just a Stingray owner, a C8 Stingray owner, and he said, man, I'm barely getting 200. And I was like, why? He was like, I don't drive in touring mode. I said, well, I don't drive in touring mode either. I use my mode, and I have it set to track exhaust, sports suspension, and sports steering, pretty much no touring stuff, I think. And I just have it to where it's not all track, and I have my Z mode set up for all track, so I don't have to switch over to track mode by using a dial. I just hit the Z mode. I programmed it to match track mode pretty much for dry conditions, and he was just blown away that I get over 300 on every single fill up. But he was like, well, I daily mine. I was like, yeah, but you don't drive, you're not driving in my motor, you don't drive in touring. There's nothing wrong with getting good fuel economy on these cars, folks. There's nothing wrong with it. And this car has the same engine as the Stingray, and he was just so in shock that I'm getting in the 20s every time I drive. My best miles per gallon is 27.9, I believe it is. 27.9 or 27.6, something like that. So I'm excited that my fuel economy is great. It should be, because with the help of the electric motor on the front, I'm not getting as it has regenerative braking. So, and even though I have these massive carbon ceramic brakes down here, uh, I'm not getting poor gas mileage. I'm not getting poor gas mileage. So I'm excited about that. I'm gonna pop the back open here. My engine bay is just like, last night at that car meet I was at, it was Corvette only, and I was parked next to a guy. We had the same engine bay, and he was like, "Man, nice Corvette." And then once he got to the side, he was like, "Wait a minute." He said, "Oh man, this is one of those E-rays." And I said, "Yep, yes sir, it is." That's the number one question that I'm on right now, and I think it's going to stay like that for some time. But nonetheless, we have the same engine bay, we have the same plant in the back. But you know, obviously this is the wide body from the Z06, and then I have the front electric motor. So, fuel economy aside, the first question I get when I pull up to a show or a meet is this an E-Ray, or oh my God, is this really an E-Ray? Like, that's the conversation that people do. After they get past that, they start to ask me about the frunk area, and I tell them there's no motors in there. I get a frunk as well, and they're shocked by that. They're shocked that I have a frunk just like them. In my frunk right now, it's all of my gear for cleaning the car, and tripods and stuff are in there. There's tripods in there, and there's just gear in there. And in the back, I keep my helmet in the front seat. You've seen that a bunch of times. In the back, I have a chair and my tripod for my 360 and an umbrella. That's all I have back here. That's it. That's what's in the back of the car. And then I can take my top off and still fit all of that stuff in there, because you can fit stuff under, like right here. I can fit stuff under there with my top in there, because that's what I actually have. I don't take any of that stuff out of the back when I have my top off. I even put more stuff in there. So yeah, when it comes to space, like luggage, it's not just for golf clubs. But you know, that's the history of the car. You know, they want to make sure a golfer can drive this sports car, and you can. But also, you can put a small carry-on in the front, and you can put a nice several bags in the back. You know, so yeah. Another thing that I talked about in another video is the color of this car. The color of this car being carbon flash metallic, which you have to remember if you're a C8 owner. If you're not a C8 owner, carbon flash metallic is the color of everyone's highlights on their C8. Unless you have a 23 70th anniversary edition or a 24 C8, you can't have this color. So the 23 70th anniversary got carbon flash metallic. Then in 2024, and from 2020 to 2023, I believe, you can only get highlights in carbon flash metallic. And then when 23 hit, they introduced the C8 70th anniversary edition with carbon flash metallic for the entire car. And then in 2024, they allowed it on the 24 Stingray. And then this is a 24 Stingray, C8, obviously E-Ray, whatever, but I was able to get the carbon flash metallic color. And so I was talking to a lot of people at the shows. They asked me, they're like, this whole car is carbon flash metallic. My highlights are just carbon flash metallic. I'm like, yeah. So I talked about this being one of 39. And I met another guy in the comments of that video. He's got one. He's got VIN number 315, I believe. So he also has carbon flash metallic. But I think next I want to find out how many coupes there are and how many convertibles there are with carbon flash metallic, and then I can narrow it down even more. And then I'm going to get a plaque made with the exact number. I don't want to do one of 39 at this point. I want to wait a little bit and get a little bit more detail, because you know I don't want to officially put that on there yet until. So I'm gonna get a nice plaque done probably, or just some logo or something that I want to do. But yeah, it's been a fun 2,500 miles, folks. The carbon ceramic brakes, everybody's in awe of the carbon ceramic brakes, but really it's about how they feel at this point. So if you've never had carbon ceramic brakes before on your vehicle, this is my first time having carbon ceramic brakes on a vehicle, and you have to break these in. Literally, you cannot just start using them and thinking they're going to stop right away. It's not going to happen. They're really mushy and almost soft when you first get them. So from 500 to from when you first buy it, and then you make it to about maybe 1,000 miles. That's when I really, just past 500. Once I got past 500 miles, I realized these brakes have come to life. These brakes are the truth. Massive rear brake as well, just massive. I mean, these Brembos are just crazy. No brake dust. Now I did ceramic coat the rims. I ceramic coated the entire car. But even before I did that, there was no brake dust, none. And I just wanted to be sure. I just wanted to ceramic coat everything just to kind of, get it looking good and keeping it shiny at all times. Now, initially, I wouldn't have gone for polished wheels, but it really does this car right. This combination with the black and red interior is really nice. Now, some things I dislike about the car, because there are some dislikes, and it's probably going to be every Corvette owner, is this area right here. And if you have a Z06 or an ERay, you see how wide that is? That is a wide area, and your feet are always going to hit. See how it's dirty right there, and dirty right there, and dirty right there? I have to clean that all the time. I have to clean it all the time. Hands down, when I get in and out of the car, before I put the cover back on it, I have to clean it, because it just stays dirt. No matter how you do it, it's gonna get dirty. I don't know how dirt got back here, but I'll have to clean that. I don't know how that dirt got back there, but I'll have to clean that too. But this area right here is gonna stay dirty. It's just gonna stay dirty, man. It just will not come clean. There's covers you can buy to get that area right there. It's a clear cover, but I don't like how the clear covers look. I don't like how the clear covers look. It just looks weird on top of the black color. So I've seen it on orange. I've seen it just on brighter colors, and it looks great. So, but on the black, like the carbon flash black in the interior, I just don't like how it looks. You can tell that there's a clear coat on it, over it like that in that area. So I don't think I really care for that. But yeah, man, it's more than just 2,500 miles. It's 2,500 miles of a bunch of fun. Like, I literally have double the miles that I had on my 23 C8. Yeah, in almost a year of having my Stingray, I've got double the miles on this car in 4.5 months or so. That's nuts. The sun is peaking again, so you can really see that carbon flash. That's a beautiful, that is just, the sun brings this color to life. Wow. That's just nuts. Do you see that? So shout out to all the carbon flash metallic owners of an ERay. We are definitely on the limited side now. Now, production. Production. I'm hearing, now I don't know how true this is. So right now there's just under 1,424 ERays built, but there's not 1,400 owners nationwide, because some of those cars are just kind of sitting, and they're not being sold. They can't be sold because of markups, or people just don't want to spend that kind of money, whatever the reason is. But in person, folks, when I see, because I'm the only ERay in this area, every show I go to, I'm the only ERay, and it's 300 cars out there. I'm the only ERay. It's 100 Corvettes. I'm the only ERay, and they all have the same questions for me. And I met a guy last night. And I'll get on to production, but I met a guy last night, and he was like, "Hey, I'm really in the market." He has a 23 C8, and he's ready to move on to the ERay, and that's just a popular thing. So he had a lot. He talked to me for about maybe 30 minutes straight, maybe, and it was a great conversation. I let him get in so he can check out how it feels, everything. I let him start it up, everything, put it in electric mode, whatever he wanted to do. That would give him some sense of what he's getting into from his Corvette C8 Stingray. He has a 3LT Stingray. So I think he was already ready to buy, because his friend, I think that was his friend, he just got a brand new Z06, my favorite color, red mist. And his friend said, man, he really wants this ERay, and I think he's going to do it. I think he's on to it. And there's a lot of people that want to move to the ERay. Now, as far as production goes, folks, there are not a lot of these out there. We're talking about nationwide. there's less than 1,400 of these, the 24s, and then the 25s. I'm hearing, now you can correct me if you want to, but I'm hearing that there's only going to be 800 made for 2025. Why they would do that, I don't know where anyone got that from. Why they would do that, I don't know. But I can tell you that if they do that, it's not that the ERay is a flop. I'm hearing people saying, "Oh, the ERay is not going to last. It's a joke." And I said, hey, you can say what you want to say. You're entitled to your opinion. This car is definitely not a flop. And a lot of that conversation, I think, comes from people who just don't own the car. They just don't know. They either want one, can't get one, or something. I don't know. Some people take that approach, and I'm not mad at them. You're entitled to your own opinion about this car. Who cares? I don't work for GM. I'm just a guy who loves Corvettes, and I happen to have one of the baddest Corvettes on the planet right now. And production-wise, someone can find that article for me, or I don't know how they got that official number of 800 2025s. That makes this car so limited, and it makes the 25s even more limited. If they stop production after 2025, I will be shocked. I don't think they're going to stop production. I do not. I think they're going to keep going, and I think they're going to make more than 800. But if they don't, and whoever got that stuff, that information was right, wow. All you're doing is setting me up for success. It makes the car so rare, and it just makes it a more desirable car because people can't get them. Yeah. So again, 2,500 miles. My only complaint really is how dirty that inner pillar gets. And, fuel economy is great. It's a great car to drive. If I wanted to drive it every day, I could, because I can get great fuel economy. But in the end, this is just my weekend car, my fun car, and I've been having fun. I'm surprised I have 2,500 miles in under 5 months. I'm shocked. But I think that just goes to show how much I like this car and how much I like driving it. And I've been going to shows left and right, man. Just car meets, car shows. I've been entering the car. I've won twice already. I've entered 3 shows and I won 2 out of 3. Yep. I've entered this car into 3 shows officially where I paid to get the, you got to pay a fee, the donation, or whatever the fees is to get in the show. And I paid all 3 times, and I won 2 out of 3. So I'm cool with that. I don't bring my trophies out and sit them on the car like some people do. Maybe I'll do that if I win 5 times. I'll start putting my trophies in the car and then posting them up around the car. I'll start doing that, I guess, because that's what people seem to do when they get a lot of trophies. But nonetheless, I'm gonna get out of here. It's really hot, but it's breezy and it feels good. And I want to go to the house, put this car in the garage, and get it ready for the next couple of shows that are coming up. There's 2 more shows I'll be at. So yeah. I'm excited, man. 2,500 miles. I'll pass 2,500 miles before I get home, because I'm about 10 miles, 15 miles from my house probably. So I'm excited about it. So hope you guys enjoy the content. The ERay, ask any questions you want to ask, and I'll be sure to answer them for you. Future ERay owners, get ready to be blown away. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.